Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
How does that have anything to do with selfie sticks?
I don't know, but you said that to the internet. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Adventurers League Storm King's Thunder. I'm John, and I'm the game master for the day. And with me today is William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Farinael Tauren, human paladin of Ilmater.
And
Who needs to roll
everyone's
better than an 8.
and everyone's selfie stick lover, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm playing Kinvalar Erasime, the High Elven Blade Singer, who probably would use a selfie stick. He's that kind of a douchebag at times.
And Jeff.
Hey, I'm Jeff. I'm playing Farbolt Chance, the half-elven rogue.
And Aaron, the inventor of the selfie stick.
Good morning.
You're
Internet.
the
I'm Aaron.
worst.
I'm playing Miracle, the Ranger of an Idiot, Tiefling. I just want to point out that we have so many chances to get at you that taking advantage of the early time slot is not advisable.
I just like the idea that the Faerunian equivalent of a selfie stick would have been invented by Miracle and used by Kinvalar.
That's not inaccurate.
He probably would not have invented it for vanity purposes.
No.
It probably would have been part of a convoluted attempt at wildlife photography.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then the elves, particularly the Evermeet elves, would use it
For pictures of themselves.
Yes.
That's wildlife photography. We live in the wild.
But
Okay, nobody could
they're
call
rare
Evermeet
animals.
the wild.
It's rare taking pictures of yourself with rare animals to prove that you were actually there to see it, rather than just some going, yeah, you made this up.
Anyways,
Also, giants.
this tangent aside, when last we left our heroes, they had made their way to King Hekaton's court via a contra teleportation. Upon arrival, they found themselves in what appeared to be guest chambers of some kind, with a particularly violent geyser in one corner, and made their way up to what appeared to be some form of giant gathering, where they found two storm giants entertaining a contingent of a variety of other kinds of giants that were there. Upon introducing themselves and indicating that they wanted to speak with Sarissa, the youngest daughter of King Hekaton, the other two, who appeared to be her sisters, indicated that they should wait in the guest room. Also indicated that Sarissa might not have time to see them, and that they would come talk to them later. After waiting in the guest room for a while, one of the sisters returned, specifically who introduced herself as Mirren. Came down and indicated that that her sister would see them now and would to lead them away, and upon doing so, revealed that she had instead coerced the other giant lords that were there into killing the adventurers. As Mirren fled up the stairs out of the guest chambers, the party had been left behind with a cloud giant, a fire giant, a frost giant, a stone giant, and a storm giant guard. A series of quick insight and history rolls indicated that they might be able to talk down the giant lords themselves and potentially gain them as allies. However, a series of poor charisma rolls stated otherwise. There are 2 giant lords left that they have not yet spoken with. The cloud giant, whom they figured might be susceptible to bribery, and the frost giant, whom they figure is likely more willing to talk to somebody who can prove themselves in battle. So that's where we left off, and we left off at the bottom of the initiative order with the cloud giant Val sort of chuckling but not doing anything. And we pick back up with Farbolt at the top of the initiative.
I can't see anything.
Can you see now?
Everything is black.
That's weird. You might need to refresh.
Well, actually, easily enough, for this first round, while I refresh, I am casting mirror image on myself.
Okay.
And if I remember right, I am in the hallway still.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move slightly forward to get the no, but not quite into melee range with the nearest giant.
Okay, so sort of like up to the edge of the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. You have done so.
And that will do it for me while I try to get back into Roll20.
Okay. Miracle.
I am up next to one of the giants.
Yeah, you're right next to one of the storm giant right now.
Oh, right. The one that we can't convince because he's gonna do what boss says.
Yep. The one that's under orders.
Yep.
Giant's gonna giant.
Okay, I'm going to... Which one's the frost giant, sorry?
The frost giant is the one in the middle immediately across from you.
Great.
Yep.
Then, in that case... Miracle's gonna be a little bit smart. Leave the persuading to therin. Yes, like the tiniest margin of intelligence.
I mean, I was just referencing your words. I was not making any commentary about Miracle's.
Lack of a brain. I could have short
Life choices, I was going to say, but sure.
I could have sworn we figured out what the Rimmeray's short sword did.
Extra D6 of cold.
Yeah.
It's also a +1 weapon. Yeah. So the full stats would be 1d6 piercing plus.
Yeah. Switch to his short swords. Ping.
Wow. And I am just seeing nothing.
25?
But black.
25 attacking the storm giant?
Yeah, the storm giant in front of me.
That hits.
Four piercing and 5 cold.
All right.
Have you tried zooming all the way out, Jeff?
Was that?
Have you tried zooming all the way out to see if...
Yeah, everything's just black.
Does Farbolt's token have sight still?
There's a setting, if you're using Chrome, there's a setting you have to be sure is the right way around. Otherwise, you may see either nothing or the whole map.
Yeah, no. Farbolt's token has sight.
No, the, like, in your browser.
I was answering
In
William.
the browser, yeah.
Something about hardware acceleration or...
Oh, yeah, make sure your hardware acceleration on Chrome is turned off.
Wait. So it's a natural 20. I guess I just have to roll that by hand because I don't have an... Wait. I get a second attack.
Yeah, you get a second attack.
Level 11. Okay. Second attack is a crit.
Okay.
Sweet!
Results in damage if roll 20 behaves. So 9 plus 4 piercing and 4 plus 3 cold. And
so as you strike the storm giant with this frosty short sword, you stabbing in twice. You see it does leave behind a trail of frost along the wounds that very rapidly just evaporates. It doesn't seem like the cold is doing a lot of damage. It's still doing some, but not a lot.
well, that's tough. It's the +1 weapon I've got.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that is...
Like,
Do what you gotta do, yep.
I have that or a whip.
No, just
A normal whip.
Just letting you
Another
know
weapon.
what you're observing.
Yep. And he's got a shield in his offhand, so...
All right. That makes it firing.
So from his position next to the cloud giant, Firen pulls.
You did hear.
I'm aware.
No, specifically, you did hear Kinvalar say that the giant runes that you guys have might be valuable there.
Yeah, that's why I was in the middle of
just
pulling the
making sure.
gavel of the Ven rune off of my belt, and holding it up, just being saying, "This is far more worth your time than any schemes of these storm giants. Assist us, and it's yours."
Roll a charisma check with advantage, or a persuasion roll with advantage.
And hope he doesn't realize that if he kills you, it's also his.
31. Oh, no, sorry, 29. That's plus 7.
The cloud giant looks down at you, offers a wry grin. "I care not for the ruling of the storm giants," and holds a hand out, expecting you to toss him the gavel.
I toss him the gavel.
He catches it.
All right, that's one off the list.
And then I move my 30 feet toward the frost giant.
All right. Kinvalar.
All right, I ain't got time for no convincing bullshit. Also, I recognize where my strengths are and my limitations are. And persuading people is the latter.
So you're going to lightning bolt the storm giant.
No. Don't you try to get me to know. Did I already... Yeah, I already did, but that's fine. So, on just a sec. We already determined that there's nothing in here big enough that I could probably use for animate objects, right?
No, not that you can see at least.
Damn it! Why doesn't everything have?
That's because most of the stuff here aren't objects; they're living creatures,
no,
barnacles and
that's
the like.
Animate barnacles.
You cannot animate barnacles.
I feel like Kimmeler is going to cast the spell, and there's like the error non-valid target.
Yeah, there
text.
is the statue behind you would qualify as the largest category of object you can animate, though.
No, that's okay. I am going
If you
to.
wanted to animate that.
I'm already in Blade Song. Because I don't want to die horribly. So I am casting. I'm already in that, so I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shadow Blade. And I am gonna thwack this motherfucker right in front of me.
Does Blade Song require your concentration?
No, it is not. It is not a spell.
Okay.
And it doesn't require concentration. It's like a barbarian's rage that way.
Okay, I just wanted to check because I remember something about Blade Song concentration, and
it gives you a bonus to your concentration checks.
Okay.
Which would be useless if it was actually a concentration ability.
It gives you a bonus to your concentration checks. Unfortunately. And wait. Oh, you know what? I'm going to cast that at 4th level. Why the fuck not?
Guess what? The Shadow Blade?
Shadow Blade.
Sure.
Because that turns my damage from 2d8 psychic to...
Like 48?
Oh, wait. 3rd or 4th level. It's the same whether I cast it at 3rd or 4th level. So...
Yeah.
And I want to save my 5th level, so fuck it, at 3rd level, so it's 3d8 damage instead of 2d8.
Alright.
And there's a storm giant right.
That's a really good spell for warlocks.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it is.
Always at 5th level.
So let's see, where is Shadowblade on this big ass list? Here we go. So it's now 3d8. No, there's no way for me to get around. Actually, no. Since it's a size larger than me, can I move through its legs so I can get behind and flank?
Yeah, but it's difficult terrain.
That's fine. My movement is like 40, I think, right now.
It'd only be 30 feet of movement to get through its legs.
Walking speed increases by 10 feet. Yep, my movement speed is 40. So 10, 20, 30, 40.
Yeah, they're big enough that you can get through them without provoking attacks of opportunity, but
okay.
It's going to be half speed.
That's fine.
Because they're trying to step on you.
And so 20.
That'll hit.
And a 21. So 12 psychic damage.
You have extra attack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just want to clarify that.
Blade singers get extra attack.
Yeah, I forget what the skag classes get, so I just need to clarify.
So 12 psychic and 17 psychic damage.
That's pretty good damage.
People in general forget that the Way of the Long Death exists in Skag. So
like the Way of the Long Death actually exists, and I forget that it exists constantly.
Actually, that's kind of shitty damage. Well, no, that second one was pretty good, but
333 and 554. I mean
3d8. That second one was good. The first one was not. Anyway, thwack.
So yeah,
as Kinvalar casually does way more damage than Miracle does and goes, could have been better.
The Kinvalar blade dancing between the legs of this storm giant, slicing once on each leg with this scimitar formed of shadows. That makes it the Frost Giant's turn. Well, hey, the pesky one has made himself apparent now. Actually,
that sounds concerning.
Pesky one.
Yeah. The Frost Giant flanks Kinvalar with the Storm Giant.
Oh right, you did start this fight with like a
I mean, I attacked the frost giant with a fireball.
Does a 27 and a 27 hit you?
Nothing I do will prevent those from being hits.
You take 30 and 31 slashing damage.
Damn!
Are you alive?
I am alive.
So
I am not
Okay.
conscious, but I'm alive.
Oh, okay. See, there was a part of that sentence that could have gone first.
So the frost giant slides over to flank the ever arrogant wizard.
This is where the mage tanking doesn't work.
Raises his massive great axe into the air and 2 well-aimed strikes, and Kinvalar is down.
I mean, I felt like I needed to clarify alive, yes, conscious, no, because depending on how much more damage he had done, it could have turned out the other way.
Yeah. I'm mostly
I don't think you can
concerned
be
about how the
conscious and
storm
dead,
giant
though.
is apparently going next.
Yes, the storm giant's turn. The storm giant looks down at Miracle because Miracle's the one that stabbed it.
Okay.
I've only got 2 uses of Revivify, guys.
Back your wounds. Don't worry
All
about
right.
it.
So, Kinvalar, you're taking a failed death save. As the storm giant lifts up a foot and stomps on the ground. I need all creatures within 15 feet of it, which is Farbolt, Miracle, and Kinvalar, but Kinvalar can't, to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's gonna go well.
Wait,
Or stomp.
you can still make Constitution saving throws. You cannot make Dex saving throws.
You
But
can
it-
make Dex or Strength saves.
You can. But the effect is save for half damage, so you're going to take a failed death save anyways.
That's fair.
And
I'm
the
gonna
other
make
things-
my save anyways.
Go ahead. The other things that it happened
By the
doesn't
way,
matter
nat
because you're
20.
unconscious. All right.
Fail.
So Kinvalar takes a failed death save.
Yep.
Miracle takes 15 points of thunder damage. And Kinvalar takes 31 points of thunder damage. And Kinvalar is also deafened. Sorry, not Kinvalar.
You mean
Farbolt.
Farbolt.
Farbolt takes 31 points of thunder damage and is deafened until the start of the giant's next turn.
Important question: does Frostwing also need to make this check?
I think Frostwing flies.
Frostwing is outside of 15 feet.
Okay.
So the cave rings with this enormous eruption of sound. And yeah, it seems weird that at 31 damage, Kinvalar only takes 1 failed death save, but that's how the mechanics work.
Wait, sorry, I missed that. How much damage did I take?
31.
30.
31.
31.
Oh, God. Sorry, I finally got roll 20 to cooperate.
You're still moving.
You're also deafened, Kinvalar. Not that it matters.
I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be deafened because I'm unconscious.
Yeah, that's what I meant by like the saving throw for you doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean anything.
Oh, I know. I was just making the save anyways because I want to add more shitty rolls to my stats.
The stone giant turns around and sees Firen running up. The stone giant has determined that that's probably not the best thing to do.
Wait a minute, wasn't the stone giant the one that we just bribed?
No,
No,
the cloud
the storm
giant is the one
giant,
that you-
or the cloud giant's my friend.
Yeah, whichever.
The stone giant's the one that threw Firen into the wall in the first place. And you know what? He's just going to do the same thing again. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for Firen.
This is an effect that targets just me, so I get to add my shield bonus to it.
Yes.
21.
Hey, you managed to slip underneath the hand of the stone giant as it comes and swings down at you, trying to grab you and fling you again.
Hooray!
The fire giant.
Dex save bonus of total +4.
The fire giant, now seeing that they can get into the fray, 1, 10, 15, 25, 30.
Uh-oh.
Oh, crap.
Is going to make 2 attacks at Farbolt.
It's okay. It's just a fire giant.
Does a 21 and a 22 hit you, Farbolt?
It's less
yes,
okay.
But hold on. For the first one,
You have shield.
damn it. First one is going to hit. Second one will miss though and hit one of the mirror images.
All right. So you take 24 slashing damage as a great sword hits you.
Oh god.
And the second
24?
one, yeah, 24. The second one strikes through a mirror image. Are you also unconscious?
No. I am still up.
You have 2 hit points left.
It's
It's a good thing that second one didn't hit you. The cloud giant looks out and considers. Like, I did just get the thing I wanted. I don't have to help them, but
Damn it, I thought you guys were lawful.
they are actually neutral, but the thing is, like, the cloud giant doesn't have that much in the way to help, like, en masse.
Not punching us is a good start.
I mean, beating the other giants about the head and shoulders with their cloudy, weapony things is also a good start.
Cloud giants are not the combat giants you may have noticed.
No, they're not.
It's another target.
However, this cloud giant will cast telekinesis, which I
Yes.
Did we
because
Please
Did we ever
hurl the
figure
stone
out-
giant into the water.
did we ever figure out what the fire giant wanted? I don't
Something
remember.
about dragons.
fire giants
we
don't
don't
like
have any
dragons,
information.
but that's
If we had happened to have some sort of proof of dragon killing, that might have helped. It seems like that might have not been a thing we did.
yeah.
Nope.
The fire giants thing is something that you never really encountered
Yeah.
thus far. So.
To
See,
my
if we-
recollection, we didn't kill any dragons or get any dragony things.
See, if we had encountered old Snarl, we could have told the fire giant where old Snarl was at.
That is not how that works!
We did run into a brass dragon.
Actually, yeah, okay. So, the cloud giant looks over his shoulder, and flicks a hand, and you all hear a cracking sound, as the large giant-sized statue that's at the other end of the hallway where the cloud giant is at comes flying out and smashes into the stone giant.
Please tell me it gets him off me.
Well, we're about to find out. With a 13, yes, the stone giant takes an amount of damage. And gets rocked into the water.
Bam!
So the
Sink like a stone.
the cloud giant just uses telekinesis to grab a giant-sized statue and slams it into the stone giant, knocking it back and away from Fyron, and into the water where it splashes and starts flailing. That
Stone
makes
giant can't swim.
it Farbolt's turn. I mean, stone giant can swim. Stone giant just got knocked on his ass.
God.
In a geyser.
Now the geyser's this room down here.
I really don't want to go head to head with the fire giant.
That's probably
Better
wise.
options at the moment do not exist.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well,
take
no,
your
that's
pick.
not
There's
true.
a lot of
You could
giants
disengage and run for your life.
Well, disengaging was part of the plan. Well, first I'm going to take my last greater healing potion.
Good idea.
And
Click,
get a
glug,
big,
glug, glug.
get a big 10 hit points. That's better than 2.
10 is better than 2. Yes, drastically. 10 is, in fact, 5 times better than 2.
Oh boy. And then if I disengage with the fire giant, can I use that, still maintain that to dodge under the storm giant?
Yes, disengage
Yeah.
last for your turn.
Yeah, disengage last sphere. Disengage. The action disengage is basically you saying, I'm taking all the precautions necessary to not get an attack of opportunity.
Then I am going to disengage 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I stand under the storm giant?
You could, but that makes it really easy for him to step on you.
Oh, I don't have the movement for it, but I will move to here for now.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
All right.
Didn't quite have the movement to do what I wanted, but...
Miracle.
Not his name.
It's French.
I'm gonna run around over here.
Yeah, no such luck, William.
Yeah, I was really hoping.
I like that we both decided to count that distance the exact same time.
I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get there, but
I'm gonna.
What you doing, Miracle?
He's going to save you. It's just a question of how smart he is about it.
going to cast Cure Wounds, or are you going to just feed a good berry?
Gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Oh, thank God. I'm alive with 1 hit point.
Which, here's
Like,
my fucking point about why Cure Wounds is not all that useful to me. You get 2 health back. Congratulations.
That is better than the 1 I would have gotten otherwise.
It is only 1 more hit point, but yes, it is. Actually, I have 3 good berries.
You're going to feed one at a time with an action, though.
Yep.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Miracle's like, oh, we're playing ping pong again. Got it. Yep.
So anything with your bonus action?
With my bonus action, I will... No, because I looked it up and my animal companion cannot ready an action.
Okay. That makes it firing.
So, I will cast Sanctuary on myself. And then I will dash to this point. And that's my entire turn. I had to dash.
So, firing, cast spell.
My shield is still out, by the way.
Yep.
Instead of my greatsword, because I have to just switch to that next turn.
Kinvalar, I hope you have potions.
I may.
Oh, I have potions. That probably would have
Yes,
been a
I
good
do.
bonus
I
action.
do. I do have potions. So yeah, I will. Superior is 44.
Superior is 8d4 plus 8.
Yeah, superior is
good.
8d4 plus 8.
Hey, I'm still not. I get 27 back. I'm still not good enough to take a frost giant hit, though. That's not going to stop him from being an idiot. I mean, his only other option is to lay on the ground, pretend he's still dead, and that's just not in Kinvalar's DNA.
I would be completely amused if at the home stretch of Storm King's Thunder, we all died.
No, you've got a Giant Slayer great sword and decent spells.
So let's see if 20-foot radius.
Yeah, but I still have at the moment 3 giants to contend with.
If I put it there, it's not going to hit.
Oh yeah, the storm giant too. Yeah.
No, the stone giant. Oh yeah, the storm giant guard. Sorry. Yep.
Oh,
he was
wait.
fire.
The storm giant was the one that I wasn't counting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I have a question.
Okay.
If I put a fireball right there, it just manages to get 20 feet,
Yeah.
20 feet, 20 feet.
It won't hit the stone giant because the stone giant is currently underwater.
It will hit Miracle.
That's fine.
It
I
will
can-
hit.
Oh,
It will hit.
Miracle?
I'm just gonna list this out. It will hit Miracle. It will hit the storm giant, and it will hit the fire giant.
Sorry, right there is specifically where I was looking.
Yeah.
Right. You can see where it's originating.
Okay, so that will hit the storm giant and the fire giant.
Yeah, because
Well,
the
that's
stone giant is
fucking
currently submerged.
useless.
Yeah, the stone giant is currently submerged.
You know what? God damn it. I feel like the frost giant is the bigger concern at the moment.
You can hold him. Do you have hold person as a
No, I
bounty
do. Hold person doesn't matter.
hunter?
He's
Right,
not
you
a
need hold
person.
monster. Yeah.
Yes, I do have hold person. It is a useless spell at the moment. I am going to. The Kid of Valar gets to his feet wearily, looks up, and fires a lightning bolt directly up the frost giant's ass.
Okay.
Yeah. Good news, sir. Here's your weekly lightning enema.
And you know what? He's kind of pissed off because he nearly kind of died. And he could nearly kind of die again.
What's your DC?
We're gonna cast that at level 5.
Okay.
Go big or go home.
Okay. So he
That's
failed.
not terrible.
He fails the DC, so he doesn't succeed. He does take 35 points of damage.
Yes, he does.
All right.
And now I die. Because he's next.
He is next.
Don't worry, I can bring you back. Again.
I mean, I
And
have
again.
29 hit points. He did 31 and 31 last turn.
That's fair.
Does a 19 hit you?
You shield.
Yeah, currently I am 16 because I lost my blade song. But if I throw up a shield, no, it does not hit me.
That was fun because he still has advantage on you because of the storm giant, which is sad because the other roll was a natural 1.
Okay.
Does a 28 hit you?
Yes.
You take 30 points
I
of
don't
slashing
know why
damage.
you even.
I use my reaction
Okay.
to invoke my aura of the guardian, which means I take that damage instead.
All right, you take 30 points of slashing damage then. Also, you had your shield out. You could have imposed disadvantage on any of those attacks.
Yeah, but I'm willing to bet the other roll would have still hit.
I don't know.
I have my reaction to use one thing, and I'm going to bet on taking the damage back more.
Actually,
than...
because he already has advantage, you would have just made it down to a normal roll, and the first roll was 28,
Yeah.
so it actually wouldn't have mattered.
yeah, so I figured that.
So yeah, you take 30 points of slashing damage instead. So how does this work visually, Therin?
So the way that the aura of the guardian reads is you can shield others from harm with your health. When a creature within 10 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to magically take that damage instead of that creature taking it.
So describe what it
Features-
looks like. Just describe what it looks like.
For the purposes of this, it's Kinvalar takes a massive great axe wound to the chest and is sent to the ground, but doesn't feel the pain as the wound that appears on his chest just seals up, and then Byron basically spurts blood from his chest as that very same axe wound appears on him. Because that is how Ilmater works. I take your suffering.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Because Ilmater is the god of stupid followers.
Don't say that too loud, or you might not still be alive.
Storm Giant's turn. Does he get his thunderous stomp back? Because now everyone's in range.
Please say no.
He does not.
Good.
So instead, it reaches up into the air and grabs a bolt of lightning from thin air.
Right, they can do that.
And slams it into the ground at his feet. I need Fyron, Miracle, and Kinvalar all to make dexterity saving throws.
It doesn't just target me, unfortunately. Everyone gets to add +3 to their dex save because they're within 10
That
feet
would
of me,
make
except
it-
for Farbold.
I want to say 17, but I feel like someone's going to laugh at me.
That'd be a
'cause-
19. Oh, no, sorry, 18.
18.
Yay, math in the early morning. It's probably not good enough.
17.
Alright, and Fyron's is...
9, because it's not targeting just me, so I don't get to add my shield bonus to it.
Then does you also add your aura to it, though?
That aura is automatically in there.
Okay. That's right, that's why it's a 2, not a -1.
Yes.
So, Fyron, you take 40 points of thunder damage. Or,
I
sorry,
am
40 points
unconscious.
of lightning damage.
I am unconscious.
Kinvalar and Miracle both take 20 points of lightning damage.
Are you still awake, Kinvalar?
Yes.
Good.
Fyron
I
hits
have
the
9
ground.
hit points left, but I am still up.
Because I can't actually heal
hang
2
on.
people in a turn.
Okay, so here's the thing about area of effects.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still considered to be targeting me?
No.
Okay. Oh yeah, it specifically said the spell doesn't protect the ward creature from area of effects, such as infliction of harm. Yeah.
Sanctuary does not help in this.
But it's still active. So, saving throw to try and
it
get me
is
on the
not
ground.
a concentration spell.
Which is good because it's it's the I'm dying spell.
Do you have any healing potions on you, William?
Let me check.
Might be relevant. Anyways, while you're checking, the stone giant tries to swim out of the water. Stone giant succeeds at swimming out of the water.
I have one superior healing potion on me, and that's it because I don't have a lot of potions because I'm
Alright.
supposed to be.
I mean, superior is pretty good to have on you. So you all see the stone giant climb back out of the water, looking confused. The fire giant turns and starts walking towards the cloud giant.
Join us next week, folks, for Curse of Strahd.
No, join us next week for Farbolt, who was sane and left, finding a whole bunch of random adventurers in a dungeon that has apparated into this place.
The cloud giant targets the fire giant with telekinesis because telekinesis can target huge creatures.
I don't really have anywhere
Throw
to
him
go.
into the stone giant.
And you all sort of, those of you that are still awake, see the fire giant get risen up into the air and slam into the stone giant.
Send him
Because
back
that's
into the
what
water.
you do.
Dealing damage to both of them and toppling both of them into the water.
I
Good
have a
work.
question.
Yes.
Is the stone giant smart enough to know that that wasn't the fire giant's fault?
That's a real good question. About to find out.
Thanks.
Nope. That makes it Farbolt's turn.
Well, I don't really have anywhere to run to. I'd be stuck in this castle no matter what.
I mean, we could always stab the storm giant.
Yeah, that's just my secondary plan.
That seems to be the best choice at the moment.
Eliminating
Actually, no.
the
Let me
storm
rephrase.
giant
The best
is
choice is to run.
Where?
But as the aforementioned, I have nowhere to run to. I'm still in the castle.
Run upstairs.
Run and hide because the giants might not find you for a little bit and they'll give up because they'll get bored.
Which is also a part of a plan. Move slightly this way, and I am going to take a swipe at this guy.
I believe you have an advantage.
You do.
Yeah. And a
It's a critical
natural
hit.
20.
That hits.
And don't forget, you get to critically sneak attack.
You get a critical sneak attack as well.
Wow.
All
That
right,
is
hang on.
really
So
nice. 7, 40.
2, 23, 14. Oh yeah, Storm Giant is looking hurt. Storm Giant is officially bloodied.
By the way, for those at home, this is us getting stomped while rolling really, really well for us.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And
It's almost like Plan Miracle was a good idea this time.
then I am going to take another offhand swipe at him just because I can, and I've got nothing better to do at the No, actually, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm taking healing potion.
A little bit of a glimpse behind them, a little bit of a glimpse behind the curtain because it's appropriate and funny. It actually calls out when dealing with these giant lords. You can try to fight them. You should suggest they talk first.
We tried.
I know.
It didn't work. And in bonus action, I'm taking a healing
Well,
potion.
the one that I did manage to convince has been doing a lot to help us right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Technically, we still have not spoken with the frost giant.
Yeah,
yet.
I need to hit it first.
I mean, I can give that a try, but I'm the only person rolling like shit right now.
Yeah, no,
Because-
I need to hit it first.
Byron's the only one with a better than natural 20s chance of success on this.
Yep.
Miracle.
Okay.
I'm still alive. Do your thing.
Yeah, you're conscious. Farbolt, you're conscious?
Yep.
Byron is not.
Okay.
I now have whole 18 hit points.
Byron, I'm gonna give you a level 2
Jealous.
cure wounds. Because that's
You could use your action to feed Byron the superior healing potion that he has on him because you know he has it.
I could also use my action to feed him any of the 4 different healing potions I have on me.
Yep. I'm just letting
I'm
you know.
saving those. Which is why I still have them. You're getting cure wounds.
Alright.
At level 2.
How many hit points?
Hopefully more
if
than
it would
2.
let me decide what level the cure wounds is.
Roll another d8.
Unrecognized command, just because I didn't put a space bar in there.
Gosh, rolling it. There we go.
Hey, you got 5.
6. No, 5. Sorry, that's right.
5. It's almost as good as like a decent cleric on a bad roll at a first level.
Like, why are you rolling so well except for your healing?
Well, so it's not just that I'm rolling poorly, it's that I have a plus. I don't have a low wisdom, but I don't have a very good wisdom.
Oh yeah, no, you're not adding a lot of number. You're adding just +1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not adding much there, but still, you're also rolling like shit for your
You rolled 2
Also-
2s.
It may be relevant if I'm remembering right, though, again, it's early. Does Kinvalar have a staff of healing or something?
No, Kinvalar has a staff of 5.
I thought one of us got something that lets us do extra healing spells.
Maybe, but
No,
not
because
me.
we re-rolled that because no one could use it.
Yeah, we're required to buy a cleric.
Right.
Yeah, I re-rolled that into the Staff of Fire because no one could use it.
Sorry.
That makes it Byron's turn.
My turn. So stand up. I need to solve some of this very quickly. So draw the Giant Slayer. One attack on the Storm Giant, one attack on the Frost Giant.
Okay.
Oh, bonus action to chug a healing potion. I forgot to say that before.
Take it.
So Giant Slayer, first the advantage attack on the Storm Giant, because I'm flanking with Kinvalar, or Firebolt. 22.
Alright, that hits.
That is...
Greater is 44 plus 4.
That is 18 points of damage, and needs to make a DC 15 strength save or fall prone.
Of course, he rolled well to
Literally
heal
can't
himself.
fail that.
I mean, you can roll a natural one.
Yeah, if it has a plus 14 to its strength save, it has to roll a natural 1 to fail it.
I feel like it probably did not roll a natural
It did
1.
not roll a natural 1.
And then the
That's okay.
And then the regular attack on the Frost Giant is a 17.
Which hits.
Deals 20 points of slashing damage and also needs to make a DC 15 strength save.
He failed.
Knocked prone.
Damn it! That's really frustrating.
Why?
Because I had a plan.
And it required him to be standing?
Yes. How tall is the ceiling?
Very.
So I could put a fireball above us, miss us, and hit both of them.
Theoretically, yes.
But I can't now.
And hopefully we'll have another giant on our side.
I mean, that's the question. Would you rather kill the Frost Giant or have him on your side?
Yeah, just kill the Storm Giant so I can talk to the Frost Giant. And then I'm going to recast Sanctuary on himself.
Are you going to recast Sanctuary? Because Sanctuary didn't go away. Oh, no, because you attacked.
I've attacked.
Are you going to recast Sanctuary or are you going to chug a healing potion?
I don't
You have the Superior.
know that it would heal me enough to...
8d8 plus
Yeah.
8. That's minimum 16.
They may
maximum
have
1.
very high wisdom saves.
Also,
Do they?
also
I
the
don't know.
Storm
I
Giant
would-
didn't have to target you to kill you.
Also that. I
I
legitimately
want to
don't
note
know
that
what
there
their
is a
saves
chance Miracle will not be around to continue playing ping pong with your corpses because he is
You-
actually running out of hit points too.
You're fighting one of the giants that you know for a fact doesn't have to target you.
It is still Fyron's choice. What would Fyron prioritize? No, I got that right. I didn't say Firebolt.
Oh, and you're all in range. That's lovely. You heal 41.
Yeah, that's still enough hit points that if something decides to attack me, I'll probably go down immediately.
No, we'll see.
I mean, that's some damn good healing.
That's really good healing. That would have survived. That would have survived the thunderbolt you took. Frost Giant's turn. Oh, sorry, Kinvalar's turn. That's right, Kinvalar's turn. Kinvalar.
Don't kill me yet.
Sorry, it's fun. I like playing with giants.
Reactivate Blade Song, fireball the ceiling. Or do you only have 2 uses of Blade Song?
I only have 2 uses of Blade Song, but I still have 1 left.
Yeah, you might want to save it for...
That's my
Coming, yeah.
concern. My roll has 16, 21. I'm fucked either way. Let us You know what? You say that storm giant looks fucked up?
The Storm Giant is at bloodied, yes.
I like how you use a 4th edition term.
It's also a 5th edition.
That is explicitly not a 5th edition term.
Is it? Oh.
No, not need. Nope.
It's easier
It
to...
has no mechanical.
It's fine. And it is a reference we all understand.
Yeah.
I always laugh when you use it. You know, fireball's gonna be 8d6. 3d4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, let's. It's probably not going to do enough, but with my luck, it'll make the saving throw anyways. Let's drop a level 4 magic missile into that storm giant.
I mean, there's no saving throw on magic missiles, so okay.
No, there's not. No. My concern was not the saving throw. My concern was the amount of damage that whether I'm going to be able to do enough.
Got it.
Because I'm rolling dice.
Well, let's see.
That's what?
You
60, 64
Are you
plus 6?
kidding me?
Oh,
Seriously?
Are you
3, 1.
damn kidding me?
3, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3.
Wait. Did you say I took who?
You rolled 3, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3.
Yes.
It's actually not that bad. Like,
no, 3. Yeah, 3, 1. Yeah, that's right.
You rolled 3, 1, 1, and 1, 3, 3. It's not exactly half minimum and exactly half one below maximum.
It's still not right.
It's not that bad. That's funny. Yeah.
Has any of the damage I've taken been cold damage?
No.
Okay.
They've mostly just been hitting you. The Storm Giant has done thunder and lightning damage.
And for my bonus action, another healing potion. Because I've got 4 of those fuckers.
I have no more healing potions, so.
Plus 8.
Okay, that's not terrible.
So the Frost
That
Giant...
almost healed me up to full.
The Frost Giant, looking surprised, having been knocked on its ass, sort of leans up and looks at Therin. I see you have a warrior amongst you after all.
Dude!
Warrior, not mage.
You've been throwing spells at him.
No, I've explicitly hit him with
a shadow blade.
okay.
Anyway.
I like that Kin Villar was like, dude, when that happened.
He's offended!
You're also an Evermead elf. You're always offended.
You didn't knock him down. And he stands up and does not take an action other than standing up. Storm Giant, don't care. So let's see if it regains its powers. That's a 1. That's a no on the lightning strike, and that's a no on the thunder stomp. Miracle's been healing things. So Miracle.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Does a 17 hit you?
No, not even close.
Does
no.
a 16 hit you?
Nope.
All right. So you, dodging back and forth, just sort of sidestep twice as the great sword into the ground where you're standing. You see a looking over at the water. You see a great club extend up and then come back down. As Brax now hits the fire giant twice. As the stone giant hits the fire giant twice. You then see a greatsword come up and come back down.
Perfect.
As fuck.
Did the fire giant just kill the stone giant?
The fire giant obliterated the stone giant.
Hey, just be glad he's rolling that well against himself and not against.
Like the fire giant
Any of
crit
our
the stone
actual
giant
allies.
twice in a row.
Good and bad.
There's an explosion. There's an explosion of water as this greatsword connects. And you all see the fire giant climbing back out.
Real misty in the water. Real misty in this room right now.
The
Yeah,
cloud giant redirects his telekinesis.
Throw the fire giant back in the water.
With a natural 1, the storm giant gets lifted up into the air.
Woo.
And slams into the fire giant.
This cloud giant is like. This cloud giant's like.
Cloud giant hasn't moved the entire time, by the way.
Cloud Giant is doing the fight for us, and I appreciate it.
Just to clarify, where did...
And they all get knocked back into the water.
Where did the sisters go?
The one sister that was here ran upstairs.
They were both here at one
No,
point.
they were both upstairs.
Because
She
we
was
spoke with one
Only
of them.
one of them
Oh.
came to
Oh,
talk.
you're
to
right,
us.
you're right,
Yeah.
you're right, you're right.
You spoke. Both of them were upstairs. Only one of them came to talk to you.
Okay.
Farbolt.
Okay, there went my plan. I'm going to take the opportunity to use Icy Mantle on myself. And I'm going to move and then bonus action dash to run towards the stairs.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for me.
Miracle.
Okay, give me a second to get... Hey, everyone's conscious on Miracle's turn.
And you're not surrounded by giants anymore.
Not. So I'm gonna... back off to...
This, by the way, is the tactic that the giant would have been employing against you.
Yeah,
if-
no, figured that. Back off to here.
I love the cloud giant's just like, do. You go there, you go there, you go there.
Ready
Everyone
to
get
attack.
in the water.
One hand.
Ready to attack any giant that emerges from the water.
Okay. That makes it firing.
So yeah, the last thing the frost giant said was, so you do have a warrior among you. So firing, bloodied, hair in his face. It's just like,
Give it a
yes.
go.
So stand with those who know honorable combat rather than those who would send others to do their fighting for them.
A persuasion roll with advantage.
Still with my +5 because emissary of peace just lasts 10 minutes. Damn it!
God damn it!
Wow.
Roll.
Can I use a second luck on firing?
Sure. Roll one more.
Fuck!
God damn it!
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop wasting my luck on firing.
Inspiration, because that isn't.
Roll me a d6.
Please, I just need a 2. Come on. Yes!
So 13 plus
+5 is 18.
5 is 18, plus another 5.
Plus another
Okay.
5 is 20.
Wait,
So, that's GM inspiration.
I said something that made sense to say to a frost giant.
It does. The frost giant looks down. Looks over at the pool. Prove to me that you're worth my time. And just points his axe at the other two surviving giants.
Well, Therin nods and just turns and walks toward the pool, casting Shield of Faith on himself.
All right. Kevlar.
All right. This spell, I realize how physically it physics and shit, but the spell says nothing about being affected by water.
Yes.
So let's just throw a fireball into the water.
Yeah, you can
I
throw.
realize
it's magic.
fire giant.
You can throw a fireball into the water. That's not a problem. Previously, the
Yes.
problem was that there's an elevation change.
I realize one of them is a fire giant, so it's not going to do much to them.
Or
As
anything,
in
I don't think.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But the other option is a lightning bolt, and the other one's a storm giant.
Yeah, so
Pick one. Damage the storm giant. He's already been hurt.
Cone of Cold is not in my resume or repertoire. So
God damn, elementally aligned creatures.
3 charges from the Staff of Fire for a fairly decent fireball.
All right, it's disadvantage because it's in the water. With a 5, it fails. The fire giant is unaffected
Because he's a fire
because he's
giant.
a fire giant. The storm giant, however,
she is.
so yeah, the Kevlar gathers fire from the tip of the staff and launches it over. It dives into the water, and there's this as water erupts from the
Which
the
he
pool.
does in when the frustrated is like, prove yourself worthy. He gives the fire giant an annoyed look
The
and
frost
just
giant.
points the staff in the direction. You pisshead! Do my work for me, okay?
All right. The frost giant just sort of steps back and leans against a wall. The storm
Attack of
giant
opportunity. No.
climbs out, provoking a held action by miracle.
Yay.
Thump, thump.
I've got a longbow.
Is this the one that you oath against?
No, this is not.
I thought
The
this was.
oath was on. Yeah, actually, the oath was on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the one
with
you
the
knew
red
you couldn't
background.
convince.
Sorry, I was using the wrong bow. Let me
That's okay. Switch back to
fix
the oath
that
bow.
real quick.
Actually, is the oath bow just one less?
The oath bow is just one less.
You hit,
Um,
so just roll damage
okay.
on the oath bow with the oath damage.
Okay. Make sure I do have the oath. All right. So drop that in there. Six and 11 sworn damage up, and then second attack.
Yeah, you get a second attack. That hits.
21.
Yep.
6 piercing and 14
So
additional.
the storm giant begins to climb out, and as it gets roughly eye height with Miracle just and 2 arrows in the throat, and it just gurgles and falls back into the water.
I'm taking credit, even though that was totally Ken Villar's kill.
Fire giant begins to climb back out, and I don't think anybody else had a held action.
Nope.
Nope.
A fire giant climbs out and looks around confused. And doesn't do anything because it's not sure what's happening. All right. Also because it spent most of its time trying to climb back out. Val, having heard the conversation, the cloud giant, having heard the conversation, smiles and just twists his finger. And the fire giant
just upends and falls prone.
is flipped upside down, which is technically prone.
Yeah.
It's basically hovering in the air upside down. Farble.
Okay. Well, that makes things convenient. Run up, slides up here, and yeah, taking 2 stabs at the guy's head since he's upside down.
She, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's a she?
Yeah, Tarth is a she.
Okay. Taking 2 stabs at her head. Do I get advantage on these?
No, nobody is flanking it with you right now.
He's not
melee attacks
prone?
within 5 feet or against prone targets are advantage.
Oh yeah,
he
but it's
prone?
prone target, so yeah, so it is with advantage.
Yeah.
Is he?
That hits.
28 and my sneak attack.
The flipped upside down is the
Flipped
flavorful way of saying prone.
Yep.
Yes. Coming right hand, then a backhand slash with a 28.
That also
So
hits.
hit. Another 6.
All right, it's still up. Well, up. Miracle.
Okay, we've got a fire giant. Can I use that again?
Well, that was a palindrome of attack rolls, Jeff.
Yeah, that kind of was.
It was.
19-2, 219.
Yeah, we're gonna command phrase and then attack the giant with the oath bow. The fire giant with the oath bow. Does the 20 hit her?
Yep.
20 hits her.
20.
Okay.
Bam, bam.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do the math, but 9, 12, 8, 8 damage.
And well, only the 9 and the 8 because your oath was against the storm giant.
No, I said I'm gonna use the command phrase and then
Can you swap it?
Storm Giant's
once
dead.
the creature's dead, yeah.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
according to this, there's no you can only do it once every so often, but you can only have one at a time. It ends when the sworn enemy is dead.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was
Unless-
just confused.
Unless the frost cloud whatever giant is not actually dead, in which case it wouldn't have
Oh no, the
reactivated.
storm giant's dead. So, yep. And as is the fire giant, as the cloud giant lets go of telekinesis and the fire giant slumps onto the ground.
As Miracle steals everyone's kills.
And we are now out of initiative as the cloud giant and frost giant, so from across the room, looks at the gathering of you. The cloud giant. Well, this has been an interesting turn of events. And turning the gavel in his palm a bit before pocketing it away.
As Fyron stops and, with everyone gone, just takes a moment to flourish and sheath the giant slayer. We should probably go and tell the lady of the castle that her sisters are playing machinations behind her back.
As if she doesn't already know, the cloud giant says.
Yes, well, I think it would be in bad form to simply kill her sisters for their treachery.
I will allow you all to assume whatever stance you have on our politics. Assuming you have no further need, I think I shall retire to a guest room. And the cloud giant turns and walks away.
Have a great day. Bye.
Yes, both of your assistances are
Okay.
appreciated.
The frost giant looks down. I think I shall accompany you to the throne room. It wouldn't do for a batch of small ones to travel without a guard. And is looking over into the pool, now that your previous guard was dead, after all. Feel free to loot their bodies if that's a thing you do. I will wait for you upstairs.
Ow.
And he heads up the stairs.
Miracle sort of is going to do a nature check on the pool to determine if it is safe with the cloak of the manta ray.
I'm not going swimming, so Farbolt will check out the fire giant.
Sure, give me a nature check. Miracle.
$17.
So looking down into it, you see that there's actually quite a lot of current flow in this. You're unsure as to how the pool maintains its level, but there seems to be a lot of like flowing in and out from the graded area that you can see. And the portcullis is sized for giants, so you could swim in the water easily enough. But if you're not a strong enough swimmer, you might get sucked out into wherever that current is going.
I am confident in my abilities.
Oh dear.
We can tie you off.
Fortunately, you do have the Cloak of the Manta Ray, which just gives you a swim speed.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Kinvar
So-
just walks over to the stairs and is just sort of standing there waiting, looking sort of antsy at this point.
Fyron lays hands on himself and gives himself 20 more hit points, which is almost fully healed. He's going to hold on to that
Miracle
last
will puff up the hood of the cloak, and without consulting with the others, because that's kind of dumb ranger he is, will pop into the pool.
Yeah. So with the cloak of the manta ray on and activated, you just have a swim speed, so you can you actually innately know how to move with the current, so you're not going to get dragged away.
Cool. And I will try and loot the bodies while in the current.
Sure. So you find on on the fire giant. Sorry. So because I've got a list. Farbolt, starting with the fire giant. You find a necklace of gilded dragon's teeth, worth 750 gold, and a conch of teleportation in an iron box chained to her belt. In the water, Miracle, you find on the stone giant 15 100 gold valued gemstones embedded in his flesh, as well as a conch of teleportation in a sack. And on the storm giant, you find a great sword that you can't carry, and a suit of armor that is sized for a giant as well, because that's all that he really had on him.
That's presumably what the others had on them too. We still can't carry those.
Yeah, like aside from their weapons and armor, which are sized for giants and not magical.
Yeah.
That's what you find.
Hey, Fyron, do you need a sword that's bigger than you are?
No.
Cool. We're done.
So the gilded dragon's teeth are worth 750 gold. The 15 gemstones are each worth 100 gold each.
I will show the 1,500 gold gemstones to the two casters, see if either of them need.
Are any of those
components.
diamonds?
None of them are diamonds.
Okay, so I'm just relying on my gold for Revivify if I need it.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Shall we?
Stuff the dragon teeth into the bag of holding. And...
I'll put the gems in with one of the many bags of holding in the group.
All right. And then you all head upstairs, or what?
Yes.
And Miracle is going to suggest that we split up the 3 conches of teleportation between us.
So I have
Probably a
one.
good idea.
I already have one.
I will take one of the other ones.
Okay. We don't know if they have any charge, and they're like once a day, I think, but
They're once a day, and they take you back to this room.
yeah. But it's
Might
something.
be useful. Yeah.
All right. So you head upstairs.
Yes.
All right. Do-do-do-do. Da-da-da-da-da. So, you all head back upstairs, finding yourselves once more in the large sort of greeting chamber that you had first walked into, where you saw the daughters, and the frost giant that was downstairs up there looks down at you. Well then, small ones, I take it you wish to speak with Sarissa.
Yes, that would certainly be helpful.
That's
Well
what
then.
the Oracle said.
That would be best.
That is what we are doing.
Well then.
Was I able to take a short rest while everyone was looting?
No, not that long.
Okay.
Yeah. Outside of Critical Role, that's normally an hour.
Yeah.
Well then, I shall lead you to the throne room. And he begins walking to the south.
Okay, follow.
Hopefully this takes less than 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yoink. So, you approach to the south, and the first thing you see as you enter this hallway at the end of it is 2 large ogres blocking off a doorway.
Ogres or hill giants?
Sorry, hill giants. 2 large hill giants. Still sort of blocking off the doorway. They're wearing scale mail and ill-fitting helms. And they look at you, and immediately the one on the left says, we got throne room. And almost on top of that, the one on the right responds with, we're your escort. The frost
Yes.
giant looks down and shrugs.
What? Sorry, I did not understand the second one.
Where your escort?
We're your escort.
I sort of step forward.
Translate if necessary.
It was all
well,
coming.
well, quite obviously, the frost giant is our escort.
Yeah, like Kinvalar points upward,
Nerds.
looking incredulous.
We're here to speak with Sarissa.
Escort, not frost giant. Escort, storm giant.
Oh, the storm giant's a bit indisposed with the other unruly members of the council.
What? They look very confused.
He's a bit busy. He sent us with the frost giant.
Make me a persuasion roll.
Emissary of Peace still active because it hasn't been 10 minutes yet.
Yeah. It's been like 5 minutes.
26.
I don't think they can beat that, but let's find out.
I mean, at 20.
Supposed rolls, though.
No. They sort of look at each other. They rolled a 5 and a 1. They look at each other, scratch, look back. Okay. And they sort of step to the side, opening the door behind them.
Oh, good. I didn't feel like killing any hill giants at the moment.
Helen, the frost giant sort of lets you all lead the way.
Kinvalar has a look on his face and sort of determination to his walk, like everything of his come off like, I ain't got time for this shit no more.
Miracle seems really happy that we're doing this peacefully all of a sudden.
Barbel's just
he
trying to
is-
look as dignified as he can with as hurt as he is.
He is so goddamn over the storm giant bullshit.
One of those storm giants has a horn, and I feel so bad for them.
All right. So, as you all step into the room, you step into a room that resembles an amphitheater, stone bleachers overlooking an oblong chamber with about 50-foot deep pool of seawater near its center. In the middle of the bleachers is an archway with 2 doors in it, which you have just come through. Facing the pool and the doors are 3 enormous thrones. The middle one is carved from a solid chunk of obsidian, has 4 blue dragon skulls affixed to its base, and floats 1 foot above the floor. You all can make an Arcana or History check if you so desire.
Sure, I'll take history.
Why
Weird
not?
history.
And the 2 smaller thrones that
12.
flank it are made of coral and giant seashells.
23 Arcana.
24
Jeez, why did
history.
we have to roll well on that one?
I didn't.
So, you recognize this as the Worm Skull Throne. It is a so everyone except for Firen actually recognizes this as the Worm Skull Throne. It is an artifact built by dwarven gods and entrusted to the rules of Xanatar, an ancient dwarven empire. Was a symbol for dwarven power and pride for ages untold. How it came into to belong to the storm giants is unknown. But you know that it is an artifact of great power.
Cool.
Sitting in it, you see a wayfish would be the word if she was human-sized. Storm giant.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in the throne with long gray hair. Definitely looks to be related to, but younger than, the other 2 female storm giants you've seen previously, both of whom are in the room and were in the middle of speaking when you walked in, cutting it short as the door opened and turning to face you. Sitting in the coral and seashell thrones on either side, there is... As I find names... A male, storm giant with sort of a long, unkempt, brownish black beard, and what appears to be a female storm giant, with, sort of what looks to be like sort of a dragon bone tiara of some kind, worn right here that goes and sort of elevates back, with blue hair and sort of dark blue skin. The one on the central throne, who sort of raises a hand to silence all other conversation in the room. You see the other storm giant guard that had been watching them standing off to the side, and she sort of she looks at you and says, "Well then, I see that you are the small folk who have come visiting our court. According to my sister," she says, looking at Nim, the one that did not come down to talk to you, "you are assassins sent to kill me. Though I see from the fact that you are accompanied by Helenhild, that this might not be 100% accurate. Would you care to step forward and explain yourself?"
Yes,
Byron steps forward. as the one who still has Emissary of Peace active, and says, "Yes, as a matter of fact, I'd like to shed some light on that situation. We come from the Eye of Anam, seeking your counsel and your assistance. Your
We're actually
sisters."
supposed to help her.
Yeah, we're here to help you as well. I'm speaking. Yes. We seek your assistance and we seek to aid you. But your sisters, in their wisdom, have seen fit that we would not be worthy to see you, and sent a number of the other giants who reside here to attempt to kill us.
Well, and one of them was present at the moment that the attack began.
Yes, and I indicate the one that had come to see us.
They
This
also
one,
admitted that you were far too overwhelmed with trivial matters to deal with us.
yes.
At the behest of the Oracle at the Eye of Anam, we're here to assist with the reestablishment of the ordning.
In fact, Jarl Helenhild, as you mentioned, was one of the ones who was sent to attack us. We managed to convince him and the Cloud Giant Lord to side with us instead. As you may note, your sisters have clearly been plotting behind your back.
Give me a persuasion roll with advantage, because multiple of you were talking.
You'll have my Emissary of Peace. 22.
The two storm giants on the other side of her lean in and begin whispering to her, and she immediately holds up a hand to stop them. Your story is an interesting one. And if true, I will certainly have to deal with my overzealous sisters, she says, looking at the two who just sort of stand off, not saying much. As you know, our court, as you should know, coming from an oracle, our court is currently in disarray.
Yes, we're working on that.
My father is missing. My mother is dead. I, having been left on the throne by my father, am the current ruler of all giant kind. But with this absence, several members of our court have taken it upon themselves to seek the gods' favor and establish them as the top of the ordning.
The Eye of Anam suggested that you might hold the secret to finding your father.
I believe the secret to finding my father lies with finding my mother's murderers. My mother's body was recovered from a cluster of islands that your kind refer to as the Red Rocks. And along with her, a coin. She stands up from the throne and walks down, holds up a hand, and a small wooden coin floats from her hand across to the group of you.
Small to her or small to us?
It's a wooden coin, like coin-sized coin.
Okay, it's like actual human-sized coin.
Yeah.
You're muted, Aaron.
I was just joking.
Do I recognize any of the symbols on it?
You do not recognize it. It looks like it's a wooden coin carved with a goose on it. So it's painted with a golden goose insignia.
Oh, this one's not laying any gold links.
You notice that the other giants around the room look surprised, like they didn't know this coin existed. I would ask you a favor.
What would you ask?
I would ask that you find the significance behind this. You who have fought your way to my court, I can trust from your actions and the fact that you are here, that you likely are not in league with those who killed my mother. Find
No.
the significance of this coin. When you find that, return to me.
Kinvlar wouldn't happen to know legend lore.
Nope.
We will see what we can find.
I assume you all have a conch of teleportation.
Yes. Can that take us out as easily as it took us in?
It cannot, but I can. Follow me. She turns and walks beyond the throne.
During this conversation, especially when she was like talking about her mother's death and stuff, can I get like an insight roll or something for the rest of the?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know if the sisters have the same mom, but like,
yeah,
if they have any feelings.
Yeah,
about
insight roll the rest of the room would be a good idea.
Go ahead and make insight rolls.
11 whole points of
9.
20.
21.
The room as a whole is fairly stone-faced. Like no one's there are very slight amounts of reaction, reacting with a slight amount of surprise at the existence of the coin. For one, everybody reacted with that. Of all the people there, though, so Kinvalar and Farble, the sisters, and the one, the sisters and the one, the female advisor you're assuming on the secondary throne get particularly controlled. Like that they sort of have that, adopt that face that you adopt when you're intentionally trying not to show a reaction.
Who? I'm sorry, the advisors?
The sisters.
Oh.
And the female advisor.
And the female advisor.
Yeah. Okay.
The three of them adopt that sort of I am not having a reaction face when Sarissa is talking about her mother.
Does it look like how best to put it? Does it look like they were all individually doing, or like I'm not going to react, or was it like we're not going to react?
It's hard to tell.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
It's hard to tell. Distinctly, the three of them are not reacting. The male advisor off to one side sort of gets that slight amount of sadness in the eyes that, oh yes, this is something that troubles her deeply. Her mother's dead. The other three are just sort of like, nope, nothing. Which doesn't necessarily tell you anything other than suspicion. But the three of them in particular seem to be concentrating on controlling their emotions when discussion of the dead queen arises.
Okay.
Oh, we follow after.
Yeah.
Do you all follow after Sarissa?
Yes. Once actually we're past where all the advisors and the sisters are, as we're walking, I would like to go. I am sorry for your loss, but I do have to ask, what were the circumstances that you found your mother when in the islands?
Sorry to ask, but when you found your dead mother, what'd she look like?
It's a murder investigation. We need information.
As you ask this question, and she sort of stops in this room that she's brought you all to. I am not certain. I wasn't there. I didn't recover it. Your people did. All I know is that the coin was found with her, and that whoever killed my mother assuredly was involved with kidnapping my father.
Our people, you said, did they bring the news to you?
They communed messages, yes.
Who?
If we... One, do we I'm echoing someone. Do we recognize where this place might be? And two, would we know more specifically than small folk who might have recovered?
Well, that's going to be my next question is.
Not necessarily. So the Red Rock, you all would know. The Red Rocks is a collection of tiny islands off the Sword Coast. Most of these landforms are sea stacks carved by the waves from the Sea of Swords, but some are a little more than boulders peeking up out of the waves. It's a sort of place where ships have accidentally crashed and sunk over the centuries. It is, however, fishers frequent the water. It's a place where lots of fishermen go to catch things. And it is home to a huge variety of fish and shellfish, many of which are prized in Waterdeep. So quite likely, someone from Waterdeep was fishing in the area, and that's how the body was discovered.
So it's not like, oh, the government of this town would definitely have been the only ones that go there. Okay.
No, it's fishermen out of Waterdeep. Would be the most likely suspect.
Okay.
Could you tell us who communicated this unfortunate news back to you?
No.
I think it would be best if we could speak with them.
I do not know. It came to me through my giants.
All right, we'll have to make our way there and simply ask who we can and find what information we can.
Can I do an insight check on how she says my giants?
Sure.
This dude is posing as his own daughter. That's gonna be creepy. 6.
She specifically means storm giants.
Ah.
A storm giant told her.
Milady, if I may ask, how much faith do you put in those that are particularly close to you?
That would indicate there are people who are close to me.
The people who are most recently physically close to you, I suppose I should say. Your advisors, your siblings.
My siblings are envious and power hungry. They wish they had been the one my father had left the throne to, and it is evident in every action they take. I apologize for their attempts on your life. They are petty, and unfortunately they are my sisters. Uther and Emerith are my trusted advisors. They wished caution and care in everything I do, but she sort of hesitates for a moment, Make me an insight roll, everyone.
21.
15.
4.
Nat 20, which is a 23.
You can tell for just by her demeanor, you can tell that unlike a lot of other giants, she does not see you guys. She, for one, she hasn't used the word small folk at all. She has referred to your people as in those of your kind, but not in a demeaning fashion. So you can tell that of all the giants in the in this area, she has the most fondness for the smaller races. And is sort of more inherent in believing in the good of races in general. You can tell she's a very good person. Which is probably why her father left her on the throne rather than her sisters, who you have been told and can confirm are conniving little shits. Right now,
I wouldn't use the word little to describe
mean,
the giant ladies who...
right now, she seems hesitant to speak ill of someone.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because she doesn't think their behavior was weird, but because it might just be she might just be reading too much into it. That's sort of she's like hesitating to say something because she thinks she might be reading too much into it.
Okay. The reason I ask is, and I would not normally say they all seem to be particularly careful to guard themselves.
Yes, outside of
reaction-wise, when your mother was mentioned.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
That flat 0 bonus.
Yep. 16?
There was something odd that I hadn't thought of until just now. Prior to your entering the room, as my sisters were trying to convince me you were assassins, Emrith made a curious comment that I hadn't thought about. Emrith said, for all we know, the assassins are the ones who murdered my mother and abducted my father.
Abducted your father?
Until I spoke to you, now that I think on it, I hadn't told anyone else my suspicions.
How does one go about abducting a storm giant?
Being more powerful than the storm giant.
If I might...
Miro.
It's fine. If I might ask, you mentioned before, is your father commonly thought within the court to be abducted?
Oh, they all think he's dead. I don't know why I didn't catch this earlier.
It sounds like Myth may... Well, I'm just going to leave that there.
No, this is important to pursue. Well, if
perhaps
you're the only,
have a conversation with your...
If you are the only one who suspected that your father was not dead but rather captured, how would Imrith come to this information?
I do not know.
What do you know of Imrith's history?
I will look into Imrith.
We'll look into your mother.
Please.
If you could send us to the Red Isles, or no, Red Rocks. If you could send us to the Red Rocks.
So I can, from here, I can teleport you to wherever you'd like to go on the mainlands. Would you like to go straight to the Red Rocks, or would you rather I send you elsewhere first?
I kind of think the sooner we start digging into this, the better.
Remember that what you know of the Red Rocks are a series of small islets, not like a
Yeah,
civilization.
so actually, we should go to Waterdeep. Actually, we can get a ship to the Red Rocks from there to make sure we have passage.
Very well.
Okay.
I can send you
You
that.
end up on a random boulder. Congratulations.
Well, that's why I clarified.
Yeah, and also people from Waterdeep were the ones who had been fishing in the Red Rocks. So
Yeah, but they fish there regularly.
So yeah.
I feel like we found a storm giant corpse is the sort of thing
One
that
thing-
might end up as gossip.
So now specifically, you're looking for who owns this chip that you were given,
Yes.
which doesn't necessarily mean you need to go to the Red Rocks, but
No, but it might be nice to know exactly where she was found, stuff like that.
yeah.
And Waterdeep's a good place to start for information too.
Really quick, let me just see if
Speaking of, does the cleric just want to clairvoyance this challenge?
What cleric?
Oh, right.
do any of you have gambling related to? Does any of you have like sort of a backstory related to gambling?
I do not.
No.
Only with my life.
Circus
Let
folk.
me check.
I feel like
Working at a
gambling's
circus
inherent to
carnival?
circus folk.
Circus carnival.
I
Okay.
feel like gambling might be inherent to circus folk.
So, Fyron, are you just sort of holding the coin out, or have you put it away?
Yeah, I've just got it in my left hand.
So Fyron, looking at this coin, or Farbolt, looking at this coin, being from the circus and all, you're sort of like looking at it and just thinking about where, who this might belong to, and where you might start looking, and you realize that this is a gambling coin. This is like sort of a gambling chip. This represents something else, like money typically, but
It's a casino chip.
yeah, effectively.
Do we know where for?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, it's like, Firing, can I see that for a moment?
Certainly.
Just to kind of flip it over back and forth. It's like, yeah, this kind of reminds me of, gambling chip.
Gambling chip.
So,
Do I know of any gambling houses in Waterdeep that use a golden goose as their logo?
No. You
Okay.
not only do you don't frequent those places, but even if
Yeah,
you
I
did,
don't.
Do I?
make
Because
me,
I'm a bounty hunter. I probably go through those places.
make me a history roll.
Not with advantage. 15?
You don't know. There's no place in Waterdeep that might have that, but you imagine you could probably ask around Waterdeep and find out more
Right.
information.
Okay.
Traveling merchants would know. They tend to visit gambling sites just to try and rake in what money they can or spend some of their earnings, try and turn it into more.
So,
Waterdeep does sound like the best place to go.
well then, I will send you there. Please operate quickly, and when you can, return using the conch. I will
We'll move with all swiftness.
I will more subtly investigate Emerith on my end.
Be careful. You are important not just to your own throne, but to all of the small folk. You are the only lifeline we've got.
I know. And she puts you all into a circle and begins casting a spell. And after a few moments, blue light engulfs the group of you, and you find yourself standing on the docks at Waterdeep in front of some very confused people. What the fuck?
God damn adventurers, always popping.
So yeah, you are out of the maelstrom and in Waterdeep now. As we
All
move
right.
into chapter 11.
Bum bum bum.
I have a question.
Sure.
Given my history with like academia, people who are more, no offense, Kimvalar, wizards who spend their time with books and lore and stuff. Would I know of anyone in that sort of thing or cleric-y capacities that might like offer scrying services for money related to?
It's slightly tricky. You can certainly buy scrying services out of just about any temple. You would know that much. Things like, not that you're asking this, but things like legend lore or more like specific detailed things, spells, are a lot rarer to find.
Yeah. It's mechanically he's more looking for one-word answers to specific questions type clerics.
Yes,
but
you could certainly do that. Just about any temple in Waterdeep would be able to offer those services.
Divination.
yeah, miracle will float the possibility. If we can figure out the right way to word it, who may have had contact, may have had possession of this coin prior to the lady's death.
Yeah, we didn't get the queen's name.
I could have sworn she said it. Never mind.
Oh, we know Sarissa's name. We just don't know her mother's name.
I feel like Giant Queen is specific enough, but
Wouldn't you be able to look that up somewhere in one of your libraries? I mean, being the queen of the storm giants should be something that would be known.
It's like, so
Would the wife of Hekaton have a known name to scholars of giant lore?
potential.
It's a pretty significant figure.
John.
So, giant history is known very well amongst giants. Amongst humans and other small folks, typically it's stuff that you only find out decades after the relevant person is dead.
So, see, we're in Waterdeep right now, so I'm sure there's others that study these fields, but I am one of the more... I have actually made myself one of the people who specializes in giant lore. The thing is, we tend to... Unfortunately, it's one of those things where, due to cultural barriers, giant history tends to be viewed more as a, like, ancient history than a living, breathing culture that we have interactions with. Giants tend to... We just don't really have great... Okay, John, remind me, because this was not that long ago for Miracle, but that was like a few weeks ago. Was the cloud giants that were hanging out over some city here?
Yeah.
Yes.
No? We could ask that cloud giant family. They might be willing to help out with that.
That's certainly a possibility. I need to bring her back.
I mean, I feel like the Queen's name is something they might be willing to talk about with us. Beyond that, I mean, we have a lot of disposable income. We could first ask for the Queen's name and then ask about the coin.
Yeah, you could certainly divine the Queen's name.
I feel like most temples would be able to acquire that information through the same sort of spells we might use to pin a target. We were considering mundane options as well. That's more Firebolt and Kinvalar's.
Well, let's get moving and see what we can find then, shall we? Speed is probably of the essence. Miracle, if you want to consult temples for diviners,
Toss
I am
Miracle.
not
Toss Miracle the coin.
person to.
Yeah, if you
You're
want to
the
look into that.
paladin.
I was going to see what noble connections I might be able to pull, but if you'd like me to check,
Yes.
if you'd like me to check
You
the
do
temples.
nobles. I do not do nobles.
So, fortunately for you all, there's a shorthand for this. I need all of you to roll me an investigation check.
Yay, that thing that requires my +0 intelligence bonus.
Yay, the one intelligence proficiency I don't have because it's far too practical. Oh, wait, that's the wrong roll.
14.
Yeah, the good news is
That-
I have a +8 to my investigation.
So, while the three of
Save
you...
us, bounty hunter.
While the three of you were talking about, well, maybe we could go to a temple, maybe we could go to maybe we could go to talk to the giants, or maybe we could do this. Kinvalar just sort of walked off to one side, had a quick conversation with somebody, and comes back with, the place you're looking for is the Golden Goose and Yarder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can just go to the what's the name of the Secret Service peacekeepers?
Harpers.
The Harper.
We can just go to the Harpers and teleport to Yarder then.
Would you mind just taking a short breather first? Go
Yes,
grab a
let's-
drink.
Yes, let's
This
get
evening,
some
'cause
rest
we're
since we
very
all
interested.
nearly died.
Yeah, is there an inn or something? I assume in Water there's
There
an
are,
inn.
there are
I
many
live
inns
here.
in Waterdeep.
I repeat, I live here.
You could stay
Yeah,
there.
but your family is terrifying.
No, let's go hang out with his family. That is
My
a wonderful
my
idea.
father is terrifying. My family is fine.
I put my fucking hood up over my goddamn horn.
So, you all spend the
It
night...
doesn't do much because his horns actually poke up.
Yeah, it's just... Get the tallest hat. You should need to just need to get Miracle a top hat, really. Like a really wide brimmed top hat. Just-
It's not very unsuspicious because it's the cloak of the manta ray. I just realized that.
Yeah. You've got just like bulbed out manta ray hood above you. Anyways, so you spend the night, take a long rest, get everything back on long rest. So you all may click the button
I'm
or do whatever
alive.
the thing is that puts your health back up to full. You all wake up
Click
in the
the
morning.
I wish there was a button that you could click for that.
There is.
There
on
is
D&D
indeed.
Beyond.
Yes,
There
I
are
know
some-
there is in D&D Beyond.
There's some,
We all love
I
D&D Beyond. We
should
just don't
just-
use it because it doesn't roll dice.
I really should just strictly use the version of my characters that I have in D&D Beyond, except for it doesn't update my tokens hit points.
Yeah. No, there's a couple of reasons why we don't
Hey,
use
D&D Beyond, I have a suggestion. Roll 20 integration.
Yeah, no, if D&D Beyond had a Roll20 integration, I would pay for that shit immediately.
I already do pay for that shit.
D&D Beyond doesn't have a Roll20 integration. I already pay for D&D Beyond, though. I'm talking about specifically that.
Oh, pay for an integration.
Yeah,
pay
the
for
integration.
an integration add-on.
Yeah. So, you all, you all rest and wake up refreshed, sore as fuck, because you did get stomped on by some giants. But you're alive.
Let me look at some. I think I need. God damn it! Is it 1d? Yeah. Roll 1d6 plus 4. Okay, I got all my characters back.
So, you have determined that Yarder is the location of the Golden Goose.
To the Harpers.
All right. Sure, you head to the Harper safe house, and you teleport to Yarder easily enough.
Off we go.
And you find yourselves once more in Yarder. Stepping out on the streets. Not much has changed since the last time you arrived here.
Isn't this where we murdered those that group of gents?
Yep. No, that's a different place.
That was Mornbridge Shield. And the first one was
I mean, the first one was like,
This is where you recovered. This is where you recovered the child, the great sword that actually Firing has on his back from a corrupt captain.
Yeah, this is also.
This is where I went swimming with the corpses.
Yeah, you went swimming with the corpses, and then Firing, and then you all sticked the Harpers on a guy, and the Harpers showed you why they're the Harpers.
Yeah.
Because dude
I remember that.
stepped out from an alleyway, had a quick conversation, pulled him back into an alleyway, and then a couple hours later, you got a great sword and a kid.
Is that how it works? That's where children come from?
Yes.
Apparently.
That's how grown adults come from, yes.
It's not a big town, so it shouldn't be too hard to find the Golden Goose.
I
no
can
water
look
deep.
around.
Give me another investigation check.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too hard. Just going, where can we go gambling?
2!
Byron's
I
real
am
good
a
at this.
noble.
24.
21.
Bounty hunter, save us! I say again as I roll investigate. 12. That's an average roll for me.
This wouldn't be out of the ordinary to go, hey, where can we go gambling?
Yeah, this is
So,
Firen and Miracle are like, all right, so we're going, and then
well,
Farbolt and Kinvar just look at each other, look, and point.
oh no, Farbolt and Kinvalar, as you guys step out and begin having this conversation, Farbolt and Kinvalar immediately go over to the Harper handler that runs this safe house, and put the coin on the table and go, "What's up?"
Yep.
Because you recall the Harpers are operating in this city.
And we teleported there.
Yeah, the Harper looks at the coin. Oh goddamn! Where'd you get this?
Apparently, this was found with the corpse of the Queen of the Storm Giants.
Well, alrighty then.
These are Harper's Kinvalar. We can be straightforward with them.
Well, this coin belongs to one Lord Casper Dryland. He's basically trying to. He's sort of in the running to become the city's new water baron, and this comes from a gambling hall of his. He leans over, walks over to the door, opens it out, and points, and you sort of see the river. Sort of like a river, it's a door that sort of points out towards the river that comes through Yarder. And he points out to where the docks are, and you see there's a series of ships. Trick is, it's not actually a gambling hall in the city. It's on board a boat of his called the Grand Dame. Basically, all the biggest movers and shakers of Yarder go out there day and night exchanging coins for these. They're called golden geese.
And how much is this worth in the gambling hall?
That's a good question.
And
I don't know.
one question: is it?
We don't have anybody. We don't have anybody on the ship. So,
is this a legitimate gambling house, or is this a slightly you need to know a guy type of gambling house?
that's a really good question. We haven't been
I'm
able.
sure
we
we
haven't
can
been able
find-
to. We haven't been able to get anybody in there. We've been wanting to know what's going on in there for a while. So if you manage to learn anything,
more of, is this known that, hey, this is an exclusive gambling
Yeah.
casino? Is it
Yeah.
you got to know a guy who knows a guy?
Yes, this is the wealthy and the elite.
Well, then, it's a good thing that we have wealthy and elite among us.
This is the wealthy
Sorry.
and elite of Yarder.
Yes, of a city that I vaguely passed through once.
Yes.
That they're always going to welcome new money.
Exactly. Money
Yeah, keep an eye.
tends to be a universal entry.
One thing we do know is if you do get on the board, keep an eye out for Pao Ming.
Oh man.
How Ming?
Yeah, Pao Ming is Lord Dryland's banker and security officer. He's a wizard of some level of power.
Well,
All right.
I suppose we need to throw around a few hundred gold coins then.
Yeah,
So here's an idea.
if you have any gemstones or anything you want to cash in, you should probably do that before you go out there.
Yeah.
I look at Miracle.
So I have a question. In
Yes.
game, did we have the foresight to cash in the large quantities of valuables that have a gold exchange rate when we were in the giant city?
You had a day. I'd say you probably would have.
Okay.
I would have wanted, forgot to mention it, with the dragon's teeth. We made weapons out of the Ramirez teeth.
These have already been gilded.
These have already been gilded?
These have
Okay.
already been like transformed to the only thing they're going to be worth of any value.
Okay. Oh, there goes
So-
that.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that we did some of that. So honestly, I think Kinvalar has most of it, but we've got 15,000 gold from
Something
Miracle.
like that. Let
Because
me
I
see.
just got the gemstones. That's all that I grabbed.
1,500 gold from the gemstones. 750 gold from the
Gold from the
necklace.
necklace. And money thing aside, approaching the casino, possible. We have two people in our group who are descended from nobility. We could attempt to go two different groups. You have a noble and you have a manservant. Go in separately, so that we're not all seen as one group. Go and we'll at least go in pairs.
The only problem with that is the amount of people among this group who are skilled at the art of the tongue are also divided along those lines.
Fyron, I didn't think you made sex jokes.
I don't, but you're welcome to take it that way.
That's what she said.
So, but as a side note, 3250, 3500,
trying to find the
35,
place where you-
36, 36, so 3,600 gold is what we've gotten off of all that extra shit. Because there's the jade flower pot for 750, the 250 gold piece golden flute, the 2,500 gold piece wooden puppet theater, and a platinum ring from the wooden coffer.
Yeah.
3,600 grand total?
Yep.
Is that
Yeah.
before or after the stuff we got off the Giants just now?
That
Four.
is completely separate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 3,600 plus the 2,250 from the Giant stuff.
I mean, unhelpfully, it's both actually giant stuff. It's just different varieties
Yep.
of giant stuff.
So
58 gold.
Which
Plus-
divide that by 4.
Plus the
That's
coin we
almost
currently
1,500
have as
each.
just coin.
Yeah.
Which
1462 or 1462 for 2 people, 1463 for 2 people. So, having taken one of the 1462s, I have a total of 2454 gold, personally.
Having also taken one of the 1462s, I have a total of 3278 in gold.
So while you guys are sort of,
21.
I assume all the money gathering is not happening in characters. So while
Yeah.
you
no,
guys are
this
doing
happened.
Yeah,
yesterday.
the Harper that's been talking to you. Now, if you want to get aboard, there's a couple of ways you could probably do it. We just haven't been successful in our attempts. So it's out there dusk to dawn, constantly operating. If you're approached wearing armor or carrying unconcealed weapons, you're turned away. They don't let anybody that looks like a threat get on board. They do have a large variety of working folk, though. Every night, the captain of the ship, Nelvin Storn, goes out with his deckhands and hires a model commoners, 5 gold each, and they work. But they get inspected before they go on board, so...
Are they looking for entertainers?
No, just workers.
Do you have
no.
knowledge?
Sorry, no. Let me correct that. Yes, they take kitchen staff, escorts, dealers, and musicians. As part of the workforce. The commoners typically end up being rowers, but they do hire out other things as well. If you want to get in on the paying side, be prepared to pay, because they only take wealthy folk on board.
Do you have any... Have there been any attempts to use magic to sneak on board that have determined any kind of defenses?
That's how we found out about their wizard.
What kind of defenses do they have?
A wizard.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, but that tells me nothing. What can he do that you have observed?
Detect thoughts, can make people do what they want them to do. Her, actually, because Palming is female. She can detect your thoughts. She's there mostly to monitor cheats. She can tell you to walk off the boat into the water, and you'll do it.
Has she displayed any ability to see invisible things?
Not that I've noticed, but everybody that's tried to go in magically has been caught. So maybe they just weren't good enough, or maybe she can.
Noted.
Does
And
Detect work on invisible people?
if she doesn't, if you manage to not walk off the bridge, when she tells you to walk off the bridge, she turns you into a frozen statue. Or blows you up, but typically not that because it damages the ship.
All right.
Good to know.
Keeping my
Miracle
stock of
looks very excited
counterspells
for like
active.
3 seconds and then shuts
Yeah,
up very promptly.
counterspell, dispel magic.
Okay.
So, no armor, only concealable weapons.
And only if you're
No
good
one that looks like a threat.
and only if you're good at concealing them. Or you find some other way to conceal them.
I feel like with a
we were
wizard
talking
on
about
board,
the-
they'd be able to tell a bag of holding.
Do the nobles typically go alone, or do they typically bring their own?
Oh no, the aristocrats and guild members that go aboard are always in a group. So if you want, you could, like, if you want all 4 of you to pose as guests, that might be a way you can do it, but you gotta look the part and act the part.
Yeah.
So,
Very
2
cool.
nobles and a manservant. Manservant for each.
Yeah, that is what Miracle was trying to ask.
Yeah.
I didn't phrase it very well.
Yeah, they do come in groups, so...
Mm.
And they do
With-
have their,
Specifically,
they do
I
have
was
their
asking
servants.
if they go
Yes.
with, like...
They do have their servants.
Nobility usually goes around with an entourage.
Well, Kinvar, you feel like putting on Evermeet colors?
No, but I will.
I feel like the Altorian merchant family's probably got enough to show off.
All right. They will
Now,
check if you take anything on in a bag of holding. They will check the bag of holding.
Yes.
So just be aware of that.
I couldn't get a passworded bag, could I? Ugh.
No, but
I mean, even a passworded bag doesn't help if you invert it and turn it inside out.
Yeah.
coin is coin. I don't imagine they're going to object to you having a bag full of just coins.
Oh no, they'll be right happy about that.
Yeah, so we'll carry our coin in the bag of holding, but we'll need a place to store our gear that we can't conceal.
You can store it
That's
all
a
here.
bad plan. That
can-
whole... So,
Hold on.
Anything you want to store, you can leave here at the safe house.
here's my thought.
It's,
Admittedly, I'm not passing for nobility. I'm not passing for commoner.
That's why if we go in as
Unless
guests,
this is a
it's-
particularly... I mean,
if we
my
go in as-
family would not pass for that anyways. I don't know if I'm even passing for manservant, but I can go for that one.
Yeah,
The-
I would figure if we go in as guests, to have the 2 nobles go in as nobility, and Firebolt and Miracle would go in as their servants.
Yeah. I'm trying to finish a sentence, which, be nice once in a while. So my thought is, if we're going in, it's probably better not to risk weapons, things that might raise an alarm. We're not, unless the Harpers have a strong objection to this, we're not really there to stir up anything resembling trouble. We're much more there to, what's the best way to put this? We're much more there to see if we can find out the little bit we want to know, or just get some sort of hint than accomplish anything that would be better accomplished with weapons.
And if a fight does break out, well, Kinvlar, you'll have to cover most of us.
cover. Oh, yes. No, don't worry. If it comes to that,
You're the only one that
I
can sell
got
the
it.
weapons.
Do we want to try to sneak anything in? Or just
I-
don't bother?
My point is that it's probably, Farbolt, you may be much better at this than the rest of us, but it's probably a lot better of a tactic to minimize the amount we're doing anything that they might disagree with.
Because at most I'll be able to sneak in a dagger. Maybe 2, but that's...
How helpful is a dagger going to be for you?
For me, quite, but I'm sure there's things we can improvise where they're absolutely necessary. If ever...
I could go in as a bookkeep. or not really. Like, I am technically a scholar. No. I don't know.
The Altorian family is a merchant family. You're with me as my record keeper.
Okay.
Keep track of the transactions.
Yeah. Okay. So we.
So weapons and armor should stay here. We will try and avoid getting into a fight if possible, and if need be, it's a retreating fight.
Yep.
That'll work.
I have a.
Alright, so if you're looking for information on board, like I said, Lord Dryland's the one you're going to be looking for. Not sure how you're going to find him, but I assume that's something you'll figure out once you're on board. And stay clear of Palming.
Yep.
Yes, definitely don't want the one who can read thoughts paying attention to us.
Yeah, don't draw that one's attention. Alright. Well, good luck.
Alright,
Okay, so if
I have
Miracle's going to
some-
be... Oh, go ahead.
I have some noble clothing for myself. I don't know if I'll be able to outfit the rest of you. I don't think any of you particularly share my build.
Looks at my strength of 8. Not really.
All right. Well, it's gonna set out onto the river in a few hours. So
I have scholar's clothing.
Well, unless you want to use... Well, at least for myself, I can use some illusionary magic.
I think
So,
that'll be detected easily.
did we just miss the entire suggestion I made?
Yes,
I know no one
nothing-
listens to me, and I know this isn't my wheelhouse, but really?
It's nothing that could be easily spotted. It's definitely no risks.
I assume at this point we're leaving some stuff with the Harpers and headed not to here.
Yeah.
So, wearing the clothes that you have, as long as you're not wearing armor or weapons, it's easy enough to make yourselves look like the various things you want to look like.
Kind of, because with one exception, we totally are those things.
Yeah. Like it's not all that hard to disguise yourself, so long as you're not trying to drastically change what you look like.
I look at the giant bat. I probably cannot have a...
The bat would stand out, yes.
I look to Kinvalar and the cat. No, that seems suitably froofy.
Goofy.
Relic sitting on Kinvalar's shoulder.
Sorry, what?
Nothing. You stay here for a bit, okay? As he very much doesn't want Kinvalar to know he said that.
Yep, the Frostwing will stay, we're told.
Just sits on the ground, curls wings up around its face, becomes a Golbat.
Yeah.
No, then he needs to go into a cave and hassle Pokemon trainers.
Now I need to figure out
pointless
whatever
battles.
happened to Relix's token.
It's been a while since we've used it.
Been a bit.
Trying to remember where the last time you guys used it was. Because Relix might be very helpful in this. Having a small cat that can get into places that the rest of you can't, that has a telepathic
And
bond
can see
to
invisible
Kinvalar,
things.
And can see invisible things. I think it was in Tribor.
Something like that.
Or it was in... No, it was in Nightstone. That's right.
Wasn't Nightstone the very first town?
Yep. Rilix has always been there. It's just you guys haven't like sent Rilix off on his own in a while.
Kinvalar does not use Rilix as a battle pet.
Correct.
Because the Tressum is not a battle pet. Cat, go fight that fire giant. No.
To be fair, it's more
Magic
like
cat, go fight that commoner. Oh god, that's a dead commoner.
well, it's more like Magic Cat. Go over there so I can shocking grasp that person.
Magic cats sit on their face. Shocking grasp. Just magic flying electric cat. Go. All right, so you all head out to the Grand Dame. It is an ornately decorated riverboat sitting in the river on the docks of Yarder. And as you come out, sorry, I'm just trying to. Okay, so you come aboard, and you're heading down the docks, and there are a collection of people sort of standing on the docks, checking people as they go in. One of them in particular is a large male human that sort of has like the stereotypical pirate captain's hat on, who sort of stops and talks to everybody as they come in, shakes hands, lets them on through, shakes hands, lets them on through, and you guys come up first. He sort of gives you a look over. Right, well then, looks like we've got a bit of new blood joining us today, and you are, my lords?
I'm Farin Altorian, scion of House Altorian from Waterdeep. I have heard that there is fine gambling to be had aboard this ship.
Aye, there is, and who might this be accompanying you?
Kinvalar Erasme from Evermeet.
And then he pointedly looks at the two people behind you.
This is my records keeper and our manservant.
Miracle, I work for the Altorian family.
Right.
Farvel just kind of gives a semi-formal bow. He doesn't actually say anything.
All right, Farron, give me a deception check with advantage.
Fortunately, my charisma is decent. I'm not good at deception, though. 21!
You beat an 8.
Thank you, advantage.
You beat an 8. Congratulations.
I almost didn't beat an 8 if I didn't have that advantage.
You almost did, but you did. Looks you up and down. Right, well, as you may or may not know the rules, when you get on board, stick to the common area. You have free reign of the area, though we'd ask you don't bother the kitchen staff and you don't bother the rowers. Also, the owner's cabin is off limits. But so long as you're not worrying about that, you'll be all right. Gambling's on the main hull. Gambling's on the main hull. Rowers are below decks, and the cabin's at the top. Well, like I said, leave him alone. You'll be fine. Enjoy your stay. We'll be departing shortly. And you all step onto the boat, moving around to the front of the boat where the entrance is. We will now shift you over to the appropriate map.
Unfortunately, I don't have my Gauntlets of Ogre power on right now.
So,
well, with any luck, we won't be needing strength.
My strength is still 15, it's just not 19.
Before you stands an open door leading into a lounge where several people are sitting about enjoying fine food and drink. It looks like you have to pass through the lounge to get into the Oh, actually, no, you don't. Sorry. I put you at the wrong end. Forgot. There is a lounge there. You see it as you go past.
Ta-ding.
No.
There's the entrance.
There's the entrance. There you go. So, this large cabin has been transformed into a gambling hall, the centerpiece of which is a gold-plated wooden sculpture of a goose that rests on a table in the aft end. Glasses of fine wine, free for the taking, are arrayed around it. An unflattering portrait of an unflattering portrait of a fat, foppish, grinning man, whom you assume is Lord Dryland, hangs on the wall across from a wooden spiral staircase that leads up to the dance hall. Most of the floor space is taken up with tables of card games. From dusk till dawn, attractive dealers sit behind the tables, distributing cards to the players while small crowds look on. No actual currency passes into the hands of the hired help. Instead, bets are made with coin-sized wooden chips called golden geese, so named because each one bears the Lord Dryland's golden goose emblem. You do not currently see Lord Dryland around here anywhere, but basically the ratio is 1 golden goose token to 1 gold.
Okay.
And you actually see an older woman that looks to be from Shou, which for those of you unfamiliar with the Faerunian universe is China. Is standing off to one side, having just changed some gold coins for some golden geese, and keeping an eye on the crowd.
Is Palming a show? I don't know the nationality term. Is that a show name?
Yes.
Can we assume this is Palming?
You can assume this is Palming. Yes.
Okay.
Being the only person of Shou nationality in the room.
Yeah.
Being someone of Shou nationality that specifically is working in a very high level capacity for this thing, likely her or someone who works with her.
Yeah. Also, it would make sense for someone who can cast Detect Thoughts to be on the gambling floor handing out the money.
Yep.
So, you are currently here. What you doing?
Looking around at the crowd, how many of these people are essentially the servants of the entourage of the rich nobility?
Give me a perception check.
Yes. 12. Jeez.
Not many. There certainly are some there that are sort of standing close to their wealthy masters. But for the most part, it seems like a lot of these nobles are here to get away from the trappings of their nobility and spend time enjoying some gambling rather than having a servant at their elbow at all times.
You're not being appropriate. Remember to represent your family in all things.
Yeah. So there are certainly some that have people that look similarly. So, some of them just look like they're sort of, sir, you only have so much gold. Try not to spend too much. Things like that. But other than that, most of them seem to be either just with a group of nobles and nobody else, or by themselves.
All right. Shall we play the floors and just see what conversation passes the ears? And then if we can't find anything good, we'll start looking more specifically.
Mr. Rasame, I believe this is your specialty.
So, GM,
yes, it is. And once...
So you can go ahead and if you are just sort of mingling right now, you can go ahead and roll me investigation rolls. Are any of you trying to play?
I do have one question. Where is Yarder in relation to the Red Isles?
Yarder is inland. The Red Isles is on the ocean.
Okay. Oh, not close.
No,
All
you're
right.
up by the Evermores right now.
So, Firen's willing to
Let's
play
not
the chump.
specifically start asking about that.
Yeah.
No, I was just kind of curious of where geographically we were.
So Firen's willing to play the chump and flush a little bit of gold down the drain to give Kinvalar the cover for his investigation.
Okay.
So Firen will be playing to distract.
So you sort of
It wouldn't be Mr. It would be Lord. Thank you.
So
Sorry.
you
I don't
exchange. We'll say you
No one
exchange.
told me this.
We'll say you exchange 100 gold out for 100 golden geese tokens.
All right.
And begin playing. Give me.
That's a shitty investigation roll for the record.
Just give me. Do
Am
you,
I?
do you
am
have
I
any
giving
sort
him
of game?
advantage for my assistance?
Well, hang on. Do you have any sort of gambling tools?
The only gaming set that I have proficiency with is Dragon Chess, so no.
So no. All right. So just give me a generic charisma roll then.
I mean, if you've
12.
Okay.
you can certainly call chess. You can certainly say chess is not a game you can gamble on. I would strongly disagree based on past experience.
It is a game you can gamble on. It's not typically a game in casinos, though. However, you do get advantage on
The
the
house likes
investigation
to
roll,
win.
Kinvalar.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can get an advantage on your investigation roll. So roll again.
Oh, good.
14 and 14. Right.
Sorry.
Awesome.
So you're sort of hanging around, chatting up people, and you learn that Lord Dryland hasn't come out of his cabin recently. He was out here earlier, but then he seemed like he was getting a headache of some kind, and when he gets headaches, he is just in his cabin all night. Apparently, he just gets the worst headaches, the worst sort of migraines.
Can I get an Arcana on that?
Yeah,
sure.
that's some bullshit.
Actually, medicine or Arcana, which would be applicable?
Depends on what you're trying to find out. Are you trying to find out if this is if this is the symptoms of a real migraine, or what might cause it?
What might cause it?
Arcana, then.
15.
Yep, must get headaches.
Kinvalar, I guess he suffers from migraines. Miracle. There are magical effects that can cause headache-like symptoms or migraine-like symptoms. Any sort of like long-distance communication spells from particularly powerful entities, like
A dragon sending you a message.
Yeah, like a dragon telepathically invading your mind, or contacting an extraplanar entity. If a great old one reaches into your mind, you'll get a headache. You'll also get other things, but you'll get a headache.
You'll suffer, what is it, like 60-10 psychic damage?
On the low end, yes.
But yeah, so like there are a couple, like telepathic communication might be an explanation for that.
Okay.
You also hear Kinvalar as you're talking that apparently Dryland keeps a pet octopus in his cabin.
Okay.
Okay, so that's weird.
The octopus is going to turn out to be a mind flayer and we're all fucked.
Just a single mind flayer and everyone's dead. Because our intelligence saves are awful.
Give me a
Hey!
Give me a history roll, Kinvalar. You're the only one who might know this.
I will have you know my intelligence saves are very good.
Yeah, but you're the one who would roll a 1.
You're not wrong.
So you have never directly encountered them. And you have never directly interfaced with them, but you have heard of an organization known as the Kraken Society.
Oh.
And octopus seems to be a common running thread for the octopus and seafaring nature.
Fuck those dudes.
And you recall hearing that Dryland that Dryland, first of all, his name is Dryland. Second of all, he rarely leaves his ship, and he wants to be the Water Baron of Yarder, but he rarely leaves his ship.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. My mic fell off the table.
So yeah, that's sort of what you get off of the information you receive, Kinvalar.
I will have a coughing fit.
Kinvalar begins having a coughing fit. Somebody pats on the back.
Ah, that's better.
Hello to Matt Rasame. Are you all right?
Yes, I'll get everybody together.
Mm-hmm.
So it would appear.
As we find a private spot to talk.
Yes.
That's going to be challenging because there aren't, like, the only really private spot you could possibly get is perhaps out on deck. This place is packed.
Yeah, so we'll probably just head out to the bow of the ship.
Yeah, and at this point, it has begun moving. You are actually sailing down the river right now.
Well,
or rowing down the river.
I mean, how big across is the? We are never outside of 120 feet from each other, right?
No, but you could get up here and be relatively private.
Yeah, so
but
just Kinvalar,
so
let's take a look at the river.
Sure, you can cast a message.
Or if we can.
Yeah, let's just head to the so that we don't have to worry about Pal Ming noticing someone casting the message cantrip constantly.
You could. I'll say that you guys could very easily communicate with each other that you want to have a discussion, and so you grab some food and some drinks and head out to the bow, head out to the prow of the ship and have the conversation.
And as long as we talk in innocuous language, it will be fine.
So you are all together out at the prow of the ship, having food, eating.
So in code, I info dump in a way that I am not capable of doing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Give me a deception roll with advantage because nobody's nearby.
God damn it.
Do. 16's perfectly fine. So yeah, you all, Kinvalar, are using subtle nuances of language and knowledge of allies. Kinvalar relays that information about the theory that Lord Dryland might be a part of the Kraken Society.
What do we know about the Kraken Society?
They are a group of water associated. They're a criminal guild. They're
not much is known about them. They are a criminal organization that deals in stuff, and they tend towards the water.
Has anyone ever wondered whether or not there's an actual Kraken associated with the society?
That Kinvalar does not know. I mean, that might be an assumption.
Has anybody wondered? Yes, somebody has wondered at some point.
Yeah, somebody has wondered whether or not it's true.
Therin, I wonder if there's a Kraken in the Kraken Society.
Yeah, whether...
In fact, somebody just did. I detect it somewhere.
Oh, wait, it's
right
me.
in front of me.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You just did. But yeah, not many people know whether or not one is actually a part of it, but many people have wondered.
Yes.
I mean, when you name yourself that, you're not too concerned about people speculating. Okay.
So...
Still seems like what we're here for is just...
That gives us a lead, though. Criminal organization, mostly sea-bound, potentially activity along the Red Rocks. And
that or someone who is that or our friends have also come across the same coinage or favor this location.
Well, if he is a member of the Kraken, then perhaps Kraken members are often aboard this ship and occasionally gamble.
Yeah, because I wouldn't think that the
again,
ship
I'm
would ever
trying to talk very
veer out.
vaguely.
Yes,
Um,
that is understood.
Yeah. I'm just saying the things because someone needs to understand what's being said.
Yeah.
This entire conversation that is happening right now is happening in code.
Okay.
We have at least one rogue who knows thieves can't.
Yeah,
was like
Thieves'
signing
Cant doesn't
different
help
things
if
like
one,
no
the
one
rest
else
of the party doesn't
knows.
know it, and two, the people we're working against absolutely know it.
But with that in
The
context,
Kraken crows at midnight.
Come on.
kind of curious. Well, like looking for something actually a little bit more specific. Would be looking to see if anyone here who's gambling and stuff would maybe look a little bit more rougher around the edges, slightly more calloused hands. That looks like they've actually had to do some type of work.
You've already had a look around. None of the gamblers are pirates or look like pirates.
I mean, let's. They shall.
Pao Ming.
Coming.
I mean, she's a wizard.
If you are, we are working off the theory, a member of an organization like the Kraken Society, and you have a wizard in your employ. The odds are good that the wizard is also a member of the Kraken Society.
Yeah, that's a reasonable assumption to make.
Let me look at some things here.
How much trouble do we want to get into?
I mean, we can get into a lot
None.
of trouble.
We're still shooting for none.
That said, the Kraken Society, I think, would be something that the Harpers would be interested in.
Quite.
Do we want to try to get a look up inside the cabins?
Why don't we just get a little more sense of the... Seems like a better idea to not raise any flags.
Are you sure? Because I can raise so many flags.
I was thinking of raising
Also,
flags on people that aren't us.
Really quick. You do know that the ballroom right above the gambling hall, like it's literally up that stairs, is
Yeah.
where a lot of people are hanging out. That's where you got some of your information as well. It seems, yeah, you would have gotten this. When they were talking about him retiring to his cabin is literally the next room over from the ballroom.
Yeah.
So
I feel like...
I have a couple of options. They do not necessarily involve us getting into a fight, although the fight is possible.
That's kind of what I was thinking, Kinvler. It's draw attention to someone that isn't us.
So here are my thoughts. Do we want to? We can try to obtain one of. We can try to abscond with one of the individuals we suspect to be members, either Pao Ming or Dryland, and
abscond.
Kidnap.
Does this rag smell like chloroform to you?
Kidnap a powerful wizard. I'm sure that won't get a fireball dropped on us at all. Okay.
Well, it certainly won't if I can hold person on them.
I will remind you that you are currently on the water.
That's less of an issue. I can conjure some alligators to take us back.
Yeah. I'm not. So my idea is depending on which of the two that we go for. I locate, if we go up for Pao Ming, I would locate somebody else. If we go for Dryland, I would target Pao Ming. And there's a wonderful spell called Enemies Abound.
That is
And
great.
I look over at the door. Do you see how many people are in there?
That's fair. If we do go for Lord Dryland, keep in mind that he may have telepathic contact with either Eldritch Horrors or just something powerful, or just
Kraken.
someone who likes fucking with him when they send him messages.
Or a Kraken.
Actually, now that I think about it,
Yeah, I mean, probably.
yeah.
I was just thinking of framing a few people for cheating and having a commotion that way, where we can sneak up through the ballroom to Dryland's chambers.
I mean, if we can have the wizard start casting spells willy-nilly at patrons because she thinks that they are enemies.
What
I
I'm getting at is that it might be best to go for a strategy that whatever we do doesn't upset the current social order too much. But whatever you think is best. But
I feel like we should stick with our strength, and our strengths are barging recklessly into social situations and kicking them over.
Kinlar, can we just get eyes in Dryland's location? Can your Tressum get into his
Probably yes.
room? And I feel like an invisible Tressum would probably go a long way.
not invisible unless someone suddenly got invisibility.
I believe, can't I cast spells to target myself on...
Yes, you can target your familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I have
never
the
mind.
greater invisibility spell.
Never mind.
You can also cast. Invisibility isn't also just you. You can cast that on anybody.
Greater invisibility
no, greater
is the
greater
only one
invisibility,
Kinvalar has.
I did
This
not
has
take
come up
regular
before.
invisibility.
We can't make our rogue invisible because the wizard is picky.
No, but you
And
can.
because I haven't reached level 10 yet.
You can apply greater invisibility to Tressum, or to your Tressum.
Okay.
To your familiar.
Because
Like, if we want a massive weirdness distraction, conjure animals is a spell.
without causing a panic, like I said, I can
Yes, but I
probably
feel like
frame a couple of the gamblers for cheating.
conjure animals is something that could be easily traced back to animals don't randomly magically appear on a ship without an outside force being involved. Pao Ming going crazy and throwing lightning bolts at random patrons will not necessarily be blamed on us.
That's fair. I was just gonna put some rats in the food.
Yeah, I was also thinking, let's try not to kill lots of people.
Yes, if we
I
can
don't
avoid,
feel like
if we can
rats
avoid
are going to kill that
casualties.
many people. That was
I'm
actually
talking
why I was
about
going
getting
with
the
my
wizard
plan.
I'm talking about the wizard going crazy and lightning bolting half the patronage.
Also, as a reminder, Kinvalar, you guys are patrons too.
Well, we wouldn't be present at that particular point. I can, as long as I see her, I can cast the spell.
Let's try and focus on the Tressum for right now, shall we, Kinvalar, and avoid getting innocents murdered.
Thank you. Bye.
I would, at some point, I want to discuss the idea of innocence.
These people are most of these people are here because they have too much
Rich,
money and want to
prissy
throw it around.
assholes. Come on. Let's go up to the dance floor.
I mean, you can see that there are windows, windows on the second floor cabins if you want to fly Tressum up through some windows.
Okay.
Alright, so do you cast Greater Invisibility on Relix?
Yes.
And send him flying? Alright.
Yes.
I just need
I
confirmation. I think you can see through Relix's token, can't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, can I see? Yes.
So Relix goes up and just goes into the first window that he can see. And you see the captain that you had seen previously sort of manning the helm as the ship moves along. In the the helm's room that is currently packed with other basically they look like pirates. They're the crew of the ship. And that's in the room that immediately above the lounge where people are eating and drinking. Relix continues to fly around. Finds that there's sort of an open hallway that has several doors to it. That connects the helm room to the ballroom. Relix continues on, comes back out and circles around. And sort of the first room just next to the ballroom Relix flies into and sees. Lord Dryland's cabin is a testament to bad taste.
Motherfucker.
With its purple velvet curtains and scented candles and gaudy candelabras. In the middle of the room is a table with a large aquarium tank resting atop it. The aquarium contains a coral reef that serves as the home for Lord Dryland's pet octopus. Beneath the aquarium, built into the table, is a shelf on which rests a wooden chest. Other furnishings include a silk hammock, a writing desk, a small table holding a silver wine decanter and matching goblet, and an iron stove, and Lord Dryland himself, this mostly bloated-looking individual sitting in a chair in a corner, clutching his forehead as if in great pain.
Okay.
And so Relix sees all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I am senseless on where I'm at, but I can still speak, I believe.
yeah, you can speak, you just can't.
So I just
receive
pass
it.
that information along.
You just can't see or hear.
Yep. And I'll tap you on the shoulder or something if you need to drop yourself back in.
And I do something that I don't know what, because I'm in the middle of trying to type stuff.
So as really quick, as Relix sees Lord Dryland sitting in his corner clutching his head, that's where we're going to end this week anyways. So, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.